Hey up everybody and welcome back. Well, as you can see, things are still in disarray from organising and getting the trial out the way, and I put a little video up of that. But I also thought I'd just do a short video on the Henderson, as you saw, because I went out this morning and grabbed the crank. So I'm going to show you the crank and a little bit of film I took at Don's Precision Crankworks, as it's known, where he gives a little talk on the, well, a little walkthrough on the crank grinding machine, which I thought you might find interesting. So first of all, here's the visit to Don's machine shop, and then I'll show you the crank itself. Alright Don, if you could just tell us how the machine works, that would be fine, thank you. So this is a crank grinding machine, everybody.
Right, now so this is your grinding stone. So this sets the depth on your journal as you're grinding. This is called an Arnold gauge. As you grind, this slips over the journal. As you grind it in, it becomes smaller and you read it on the gauge. That's how you set your size. These chucks offset for the stroke of the engine. So every engine has a different stroke, so you would offset it according to what the stroke of the engine is. And then they index in, so you put the rod pin on a center line and the mains are going around the rod pin. This stone comes in and grinds it with the gauge on, comes to size. You bring it to size on one side, bring it to size on the other, leave 1/1000ths here and sweep across. Back the wheel out. You've got one journal done. Continue on and do the whole shaft. That's all.
So how do you get the radius?
The radius is built into the stone here.
Okay.
So depending on the crank, there's a number of grinding wheels over there which are all different widths and stone and radiuses. So you can set this radius before you start your
okay.
So, other than that, yeah,
it's a pretty simple machine. As I say, it's this thing that got me originally was about setting it up eccentrically. So let me show everybody these chucks that slide so that you can see how this chuck will slide across there. Very good. As I say, if I just walked in with the crank, everybody would have written and said, "Oh, how did they do that?" So this is the arm, and on the top of it is the gauge. Okay. So that just goes on. Yeah, because that was another thing that intrigued me as the wheel wore. You know, it's not like when you put it in a lathe. I mean, your cutting tool's not going to wear away, so you can. Right. So you actually measure it as you're going.
This is a diamond tip dresser. So as your stone begins to load up, you can run that dresser across and dress the wheel without taking the piece out. So that's a good feature to have.
Absolutely. So what's the cost of one of these wheels?
These wheels are about $1,000 each, so you don't want to drop one.
No.
If you do, you've started minus $1,000 for the day. So the stones themselves are about $400, and the hub is $600. So
yeah,
you know, the stones wear out and you replace the stones, but the hubs you can reuse. So.
And this machine was built when?
This machine was actually built in '93.
It looks older
than it really is.
And it's
because it's a water, you know, it's water coolant, so it does get messy.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be another Steam Shop Dave's here, and you were going to tell me it was.
No, I bought this brand new in '93 actually, and hopefully it'll last longer than I did.
Yeah.
So,
oh well.
It's been a good machine. I have ground over 10,000 crankshafts on this, so it's been good for me.
So, what sort of speed does the grinding wheel run at?
It runs at 2,800 RPM.
And the crank turns at
36 RPM.
And presumably
They
in
turn in
opposite
opposite
directions,
directions.
same as when you're using a tool post grinder on a lathe.
Correct. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Don. Tell you what, just out of interest, tell me what that thing is over there, because that fascinates me.
This is a milling machine. That's for that's for decking blocks.
Just okay.
To resurface a block on there.
And is that sort of similar vintage, or
That's
is it a bit older?
That one is a 74. That was built in 74.
Is it like I can't see the name on it.
It's a
Does the same sort of people make? Because I noticed like all Dave's head stuff is made by the same people.
Yeah,
so do
this is a Storm Vulcan, which is a fairly common manufacturer of block and cylinder head machines. This is a Burco. This crank grinder is made in Italy.
really?
Which is, this is considered the best of crank grinding machines. Burco is by far the best.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Funny enough,
they're
the
pretty
new-
heavy duty.
The new TIG welder I bought is Italian.
This machine weighs 8 ton. So it's got some cast iron.
Yeah, it's not going to bounce around much.
Unfortunately, there is no foundry in the U.S. that can cast a piece this big anymore. The EPA has closed them all down.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get it from.
And just for everybody to know, here's the next question then. How did you get through that door?
Came through that overhead door.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's tricky. It's been sitting right here for 22 years.
Yeah.
And I don't intend to move it. Somebody else will have to worry about that.
Okay. Well, that's great. Thank you very much for the time, Don. And as everyone will see when I pull it out of the plastic bag, Don has done a great job on the Henderson crank. Same as he's done on my BSAs and stuff. So that's it for now. And here's the crank with the 3 mains done, and where are we? 1, 2, 3 mains done. 1, 2, 3, 4 big end journals. And by the time he cleaned them up, what he did, because we didn't actually have a spec for this, and because they're Babbitt bearings, of course, we're going to bore the bearings out to the size we need. So basically he found the worst one, cleaned it up, and then made the others to match. And as it turned out, when he got them done, he took them to the same. They're all 1.225 inches. So, as I said, he does really good work. I mean, it's, as he said, what did he say? 10,000 of these he'd done on that machine. And I don't think that was his first machine either. So there we go. That's the crank already. So I'm still chasing up somewhere to get pistons, and Steam Shop Dave gave me somewhere to get the Babbitt in done. He had a Babbitt's done for, what was it? A Rio, which I've never heard of. It was a really vintage car. I also got pistons made for that, so I've got to chase up the piston people. But anyway, Don's oiled this up nicely, so I'll put it back in its plastic bag, and we'll put it to one side. And when we get some more stuff for the Henderson, we'll come back to that. So, hope you enjoyed the trials video. Hope this little bit was of interest to you, and look at Don's shop. And until next week, enjoy yourselves.